Kia ora and welcome to this outdoor video update on Bring Our Birds Home. Paul Brennan here at the eastern end of the main runways at Mangere International Airport. It is Monday, July the 9th. I'm in Auckland because I've actually moved up here for a while to better connect with broadcasting opportunities, but also to be in a better space for Bring Our Birds Home. Now that we have our charitable trust status, and thanks to Richard Fletcher and Lucas Davies for getting us over the line on that, now that we have that status, it makes sense to be closer to some of the potential larger donors who are really going to make the difference in making this campaign work, and most of them are in the Auckland area. So I'm up here to connect with them, but also to meet with groups, interested groups and parties, and I've already spoken to a few groups about what we're doing, and I'll be doing that around the country in the next few months as well, one in Wellington and a few others ranging up in other parts of the country. But I'm up here in Auckland, and one thing that we're looking at doing at the moment is regarding our jet engines, our JT8D-15 jet engines that we've bought from Scroggins Aviation in Mojave, California, is find a place in the Auckland area to display them before they head to Wanaka. So we're talking to an educational institute that's opening a new engineering facility very soon, and there's interest in displaying those engines as part of that celebration coming up in the next month or two. So we're hoping that that can come off, and once we've gone through that, they'll be shipped down to Wanaka in the South Island to be displayed at the Transport and Toy Museum, the eventual destination of the airframes that we plan to bring home. And it'll be great for people to be able to see the engines that powered the main trunk of New Zealand for, 35 years. They're an early 80s set from a 737-200 corporate jet. They have the nacelles on, they have the thrust reverser on, they're all ready to go. We're just about to see a Philippine Airlines A330 pass in the background, so get ready for that. And they will form the first physical display of Bring Our Birds Home, and it is the aim to have those engines reattached to the airframe of ZK-NAD eventually after we bring that bird home. And we're talking to the owners in North Carolina on an ongoing basis now, so it shouldn't be too long before we have some announcents to make about that airframe. And you're thinking about the DC-8, I'm sure. Still waiting for that judge to make the final decision and create the waiver for Infraero to be able to sell that airframe direct to us without that whole public tendering and auction routine that they otherwise would have to go through. We just have to be patient. We just have to deal with the bureaucracy. We've been told, do not worry, everything's fine, it'll happen in due course. So we're not panicking or getting too nervous, we're just being relaxed about it. Though obviously we're keen to get going, so we're having to just contain our excitement and just play that waiting game, but it shouldn't be too long, so keep the faith on that. And we are talking with the Cuban people about the DC-10. It's a relationship that's building, but it's taking time to build. They've had political changes there recently, so that slowed things down a little. But that aircraft is going nowhere. We know who owns it, we know who is in charge of it, so we know who we have to talk to and to work out a deal with eventually. NZS is not going away, and it's still our very strong aim as part of the Bring Our Birds Home campaign to have that airframe come home as well. Also want to thank Gareth Wyatt, one of our great supporters. Thank you so much, Gareth, for sending in this model, a 1/200th scale 737-200 high-end die-cast metal model. As you can see, this one has the livery, the blended livery of NAC Wings of the Nation and Air New Zealand, which was applied at the moment of the merger back in, I think it was April 1978, 1/200th scale with the registration ZK-NAD. And what we're planning to do is have some sort of charitable auction that we can do on Trade Me or social media, something like that. But what we're thinking is that we'll get another two, one with the original NAC livery, the red stripe and the red godwit, and the later Air New Zealand teal blue livery, so we can sort of offer them up for auction as a set and maybe have them signed by some old timers still around to really create something of real value and something to remember the Bring Our Birds Home campaign by, and to make it worthwhile for bidding in an auction and making a donation too. So Gareth, thank you so much for your consideration and for donating this to the cause, and we will certainly create the value from it. It's a beautiful little model. ZKNAD, 1/200th scale, and look out for a few more in the set being available before we do something in terms of turning this model and a few others into charitable funds to help bring our birds home. Thank you, Gareth. Also, I want to thank again Jason Rhodes of the Wanaka Transport and Toy Museum for, again, keeping the enthusiasm and coming on board, being a trustee of the Bring Our Birds Home Trust. And we can't wait to get down to Wanaka and meet with the promotional people involved in the councils down there, the promotions and business development people. We've got a great story to tell. And I'd like to also thank the Regional Development Fund folk who met with us a few weeks ago. We were able to verbally put our ideas to them. They love the ideas, and now we're forming up a formal pitch which will go to them in the next few weeks. And I think there could be some a great relationship developed there or generated there. Basically, this is a regional development project. It's going to raise awareness for a region, it's going to increase business, tourism traffic, and of course creates educational opportunities on the engineering side. So we look forward to pitching that Bring Our Birds Home concept to the Regional Development Fund. That's it for now. There'll be more video updates, of course, and as soon as anything comes to hand in terms of news announcements, we'll get them to you as quickly as possible. Remember, we have that charitable status now, so any donations you make can be claimed back on tax. Go to givealittle.co.nz/cause/Bring Our Birds Home. Thank you so much for your support. Look forward to the next video update.